Hey JackksPro, you want a sandwich?
No, stepdad, I just had lunch.
But your mom made some tuna.
No, I just had a tuna. Hey, do you want to be quiet? I'm trying to make a video for the YouTubes.
What? Those YouTube, what are you doing that for?
So I can be famous like John's Fat Cock.
Who?
You know, S&Ds.
No idea.
Look him up, stepdad. Vidstat/Sinwin.
Whatever.
What a noob.
Who else does this shit?
You know, like Nipnops.
No idea what you're talking about.
Infinite Sad.
Nope.
Dan.
Oh yeah, I know Dan.
I need more aliases if I'm gonna get into this PC gaming shit.
Hey, why do these guys have so many names anyway?
I don't know, stepdad. Why do you have a drinking problem?
No, stepdad, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about some processors.
Beat down.
Hey guys, APL JackksPro here. APL JackksPro doing a bad impression of Duncan Rocks. And today, we have the Core i5-2500K processor from Intel. It's Intel's second generation core processor, codenamed the Sandy Bridge. I don't know about you, but I want my bridges made out of concrete. Because when AMD's new bulldozer comes, they're gonna be toast. They gotta start making bridges out of better stuff. Like Ivy. Really sorry about that, guys. I just thought I'd do a little different twist on Road to the Rig. Today we're going over processors, probably the most important thing on your PC. Something I shouldn't be shaking around, because they're kind of delicate. But, like I said before, Core i5-2500K by Intel. Retail is about anywhere between $199 and $220. I got mine for $199, which was a pretty sweet deal. I was pretty happy with it. 2500K, the K means you can unlock it, overclock it if you want. The standard runs at 3.3 gigahertz, but you can overclock that to 4. I've even seen people go 4.5, which is crazy overclocking ability, but make sure you cool that shit. So we'll be running stock at first, but eventually I will overclock it once I get a graphics card, a cooler, and enough to make a substantial gaming PC. But first off, we're going to just run it stock at the 3.3 gigahertz, and it's going to be awesome. So why did I go with the i5? Well, in my opinion, if you're building a gaming PC right now, it is the processor to get. It's moderately priced, like I said, around $200. So it's not going to put a huge dent into your budget, although it's going to be a good portion. And to jump up to the 2600K, the i7 processor, it's about $120, and to me, it's not really worth it. If you don't get the gaming benefits out of it, you'll get benefits on video renders, stuff like that, but you're not going to see a substantial difference in games themselves. So I went with the i5-2500K. Now, if you're kind of a PC noob, if you don't want to overclock your CPU, then I'd recommend the 2400K. You'll save yourself about $30–35, and that way you can still have a decent processor and focus on that. Now, I haven't mentioned AMD processors, and a lot of you guys are probably like, JackksPro, AMD is so awesome. You have to go with AMD processors. They're so good and they're so cheap, and they are, because they can't compete with Intel. Basically, anything above the 955 Black Edition can't compete with anything from Intel, and that's just fact. The Intels perform a lot better. Basically, over the $150 price point, you're not going to get an AMD chip that's going to compete with Intel. And I'm not hating on AMD at all. It's just that their processors right now are kind of outdated, and yeah. But the silver lining of it all is that AMD has the new bulldozer architecture, whatever the fuck it is. I have no idea. And they're going to be coming out soon, and they'll most likely perform better than the Intels. And then Intel's coming out with Ivy Bridge, and just going to cycle again. But AMD, it's really their first time that they're actually completely reinventing their processor, so it's a really big step. So it'd be really interesting to see how they stack up price-wise and performance-wise with the Intels. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive market for the first little bit. So if you're thinking about building gaming PC right now and not going with i5-2500K, you might want to wait for the AMD chips, because a lot of other Intel chips are going to drop down in price, like the 2400. You won't see a big difference in the 2500K because it's probably their most popular processor. So you won't see a big price drop there, but you will in other processors. So I took it out of the box, kind of ruined the whole unboxing experience for you guys as I just did it while I was talking. But here it is. That's the actual processor itself in this little plastic sleeve, and this is the CPU cooler. So we're just going to run stock, like I mentioned earlier, and then overclock it later. But there it is. There's the fan that goes on top, and then the heat fans there. And it has thermal paste pre-applied. I don't know if you can see that, but you don't have to go out and apply the thermal paste yourself, which is pretty handy if you're a PC nub like myself. And so this just connects onto your motherboard through these little push pin things. And I guess it works well. I don't know. We'll wait and see. That's about it for the processor. I probably missed out a lot of stuff, and you guys are going to call me out in the comments, so feel free to do so, because this Road to the Rig series isn't just me giving you guys information. I want to get information from you. I want your opinions on what I should go with. So we got the processor covered, we got power supply, we got RAM covered, we got a case. I'm using an old hard drive, so all we need now is the motherboard, and then we can build a real PC. So it should be really interesting. Stay tuned, guys. As always, I am JackksPro, and that's another episode of Road to the Rig over with.